Let's start with the main event of this card. Mario Bautista versus Vinicius Olivera. I was right. What did I say? What did I say in my prediction video? I said he'd get that submission win. I had faith in my boy Mario Bautista, but I didn't know Vinny would... Look, I didn't know Vinny would be like that. I didn't know it would be like that. I don't know if Vinny would tap as soon as Mario got the choke in. As soon as he got under the neck. Like, just no fight from Olivera. As soon as that forearm came under the neck, immediately. This guy immediately tapped. Of course, on the feet, he looked like shit. And I saw people like Guru and other people that be acting so surprised. Like, oh my gosh, why does he look this bad on the feet? Well, did you watch the Kyler Phillips fight? Did you watch how he was sliding around the octagon like he was in an ice skating rink without ice skates? Did you watch how he had his hands by his knees the whole time and his freaking head in front of his knees? Did you see that? I know you're surprised at how, those people who were surprised at, how easily he got dogged in the grappling. And I mean, I can understand that with how well he did in the grappling with Saeed. But at the same time, that isn't... You can shame Olivera and say that, with how his striking looks, that's just a him thing. But with him getting dogged in the grappling like that I think you shouldn't be dogging on Olivera. You should be praising Bautista. Outside of with how he, immediately tapped like that, Bautista ragdolled him because Bautista is really fucking good. Bautista is damn near elite. He's not elite. Damn near. He's a few steps away. Okay? And he could become elite, man, but I don't think he is. He's really high level. Really impressive grappling that he had on display. People might bring up the Jose Aldo fight. And some people don't like Mario Bautista just because of the Jose Aldo fight, even though he's usually mildly entertaining outside of that. People are seeing this performance they're so surprised that Mario put in an entertaining performance. Are you a casual? Have you not seen a Mario Bautista fight before? Did you see him drop Umar Nurmagomedov? Mario's a dog. Did you see him freaking destroy Patchy Mix on the feet? Patchy Mix ain't no slouch. And he beat Jakub Wallowicz, and Jakub Wallowicz ain't no slouch either. Look, Patchy Mix beat Kyoji fucking Horiguchi. And you got, after last night, and after, what he did to freaking Portuguer, the casuals remember who this guy is. Partially because he's an old head, and casuals have sympathies for old heads because they think it, they're like, oh, well, it's cool to like the old heads, and respect them, which, makes sense. But, yeah. I mean, but we're not talking about Kyoji right now. Patchy Mix. Okay, so Patchy Mix, if you actually watch his fights in Bellator, this dude was really good. This dude was so good. Patchy Mix used to be so good. It's not he just got shown levels in the UFC. No, he just objectively looked way fucking worse. We didn't get a prime Patchy Mix. Oh, how old is he? How old is he, Isaac, that you might be asking? I don't give a fuck. I don't know, 33, 34. I don't know, and I don't care. Age doesn't dictate when you're in your prime. Your fucking performances do. He looked like dog shit against Bautista and in the Jakub fight than he did when he was back in Bellator. And he was beating up on guys, right? There was a reason why people were hyping him up. There was good reason to hype him up. He was, that guy outside the UFC that, could have been top 5 level. But I don't know what happened. He came over and it looked like he had freaking cement poured down his spine before he went out to fight. I don't know if he just doesn't want to fight anymore. This dude just, doesn't move his back, doesn't move at all. Just menacingly grins and gets hit in the face. It's crazy. People are like, oh, he's so bad. No, he still beat Jakub, and he can still beat a lot of people. It's just that when he... Yeah, I do think he beat Jakub. That was a crazy robbery. I'm not going to hear the fucking argument for that. Just because you don't like Patchy, That, like, no, it was a fucking robbery, straight up. And but the reason Patrick looks so bad against Mario, one, I mean, he's obviously washed. He never felt like that before. But I still think he could beat a lot of people if he stayed in the UFC, because he beat Yakub, and Yakub showed to be pretty good. And on top of that, I think that when he, fights someone and gets a lot of resistance now in his weird washed state, it's not going to end well for him. But if he doesn't get that resistance, he's just going to mess you up and do what he wants with you. I guess. That's kind of what I got from that. Anyways, Mario Bautista, great performance. Olivera, fight IQ still terrible. Still moving around weird on the feet for no reason. Did in his last fight too. Let's not forget that this guy nearly lost to Bernardo Sapage. Was that his name? Someone I'm pretty sure it was Bernardo Sapage, one of those fellers. And then what did he do? Didn't he get a finish in the last round, or have a comeback? I don't know. He had a close fight with somebody that he shouldn't have had a close fight with. Whatever. The Kyler Phillips fight was weird and embarrassing for Kyler Phillips. Embarrassing for Vinny too. And I mean, this should have been an easy fucking pick. I don't know who was picking Vinny. I'm not surprised Vinny looked like shit. That's why I think Batista's only getting better, and I also think that I just don't put any stock in Vinny. And I'm not surprised. I mean, I predicted a submission in my video. Anyways, let's go all the way back to, you know what? No, we'll start off with the main card. We'll end with the prelims. So, Amir Alblabzi versus Kyoji Horiguchi. What did I say? My boy was schooling. He arguably got dropped in round 1, though. I don't know. I don't think they counted it. They didn't count it as a knockdown. I didn't either. I think Kyoji kind of got stunned, and then he shuffled back and somersaulted backwards to get away from Kyoji. I mean to get away from Alblabzi, And don't call that cope. That's not cope. This is what I saw. I think that round 1 is a swing round because he stunned him, and it wasn't a super active round outside of that. Live, I gave it to Kyoji, but I could easily see the argument for Amir. And, because he stunned him, and it was kind of relatively low output round outside of that. Dude, look at these strike numbers. This is not the full fight, by the way. 99-20. Significant strike, 73-16. My boy put an absolute fucking schooling on this man. He put a masterclass on this man in rounds 2 and 3. Round 2, I scored a 10-8. Round 3 was dominant as fuck as well. He beat the living shit out of this man in round 2 and 3. It was beautiful. It was amazing. I love Kyoji Horiguchi. Now people are glazing him, just like I was glazing him going in the Tagir fight. I was like, people are dumb for picking him for picking Tagir against this man. Horiguchi is going to submit him. Guaranteed. He's going to dominate him and submit him. And I was 100% right on that. And I was right on this, too. I'm predicting Kyoji's career perfectly. Now, who's he going to fight next? Cap? Dude, I want to see that. Okay, whoever is not involved, whoever that's in that title picture area and is not getting a fight, he should be fighting. So either Cap, Tyra, Pantoja, whoever's not getting a title shot, one of those three. One of those three, he beats that person, he gets a title shot. I'm pretty sure Pantoja seems like he's doing fine. So, he's already training and shit. His elbow's already looking better. So, why don't, him and Van scrap at the White House or some shit. And then, maybe on the same card or whatever, you can have Kyoji versus Tyra or Kyoji versus Cap. Yeah, it doesn't really matter who, in my opinion. I don't know, Kyoji, Tyra, Kyoji, Cap. Both are great fights. I mean, I don't know who wins between Kyoji and the Caps, the Tyras, the Vans, and the Pantojas. I really don't. Those guys, dude, the flyweight title contention is so stacked, but then you go off the title contention, and it's oh, yeah, well, it's still flyweight. But that title contention's so stacked, dude. Those 5 guys, dude, it's great. It's great between those 5 guys. I don't know who's the best. I don't. I'm usually confident on who I think is the best in the division. I don't know with flyweight. Because Pantoja might come back and wash. Who knows? I still think Pantoja is going to come back and whoop on Van. I think he's gonna silence Van. I still really like Van, by the way. annoyed by all these freaking Van Glazers just denying he's a paper champ. Oh, Jailton Almeida versus Rizvan Kuniev. Complete utter nonsense. This is terrible. It was terrible. This was a very shit fight. Kuniev won. In my prediction video, I'm pretty sure I had Kuniev winning in my prediction video. I don't remember. I switched my pick on this so many times. But I'm pretty sure in my prediction video I ended up Kuniev with KO. But Kuniev didn't fight him like he fought Curtis Blades. So Kuniev looked worse on the feet than I thought he would. But then Almeida looked worse on in the grappling than I thought he would. He wasn't really able to get Kuniev down. And Almeida looked better in the grappling than I thought he would. And Kuniev looked better in the striking than I thought he would. And Kuniev looked better in the grappling than I thought he would. So it's not really what I expected for the path to victory for Kuniev, clinching and shit. It was actually kind of Almeida trying to make things happen. Like, I'm not going to lie. Almeida was the one trying to throw with intent. And they're both kind of clinching each other, but I'd say Kuniev especially. So, for this being boring, even though it's easy to blame Almeida, it's on both of them, and you can argue it's more so because Kuniev. There was also cheating from both, didn't let Kuniev deny poke, and then Almeida was, grabbing the top of the cage. He was grabbing the, the fabric, or whatever, I don't know if I'd say fabric, but the material of the stuff that the fabric that goes on top of the cage, over the top of the cage with the the logos and the advertisements. He was grabbing that thing. He was gripping onto it, so he had a grip on that fabric, on that material. And the ref didn't care, so that was interesting. There's not much to talk about. Just held each other up against the fence and yeah. To more thoroughly describe what happened with the Horiguchi fight. Horiguchi, it was basically a schooling, on the feet in those second and third round. Round one, he was just bouncing on lily pads. People forget, man, Kyoji Horiguchi's a frog, man, and he likes to bounce on lily pads. And McCall Zajac versus Marc-Andre Barriol, dude, that was fun. Don't get me wrong, there was some... The fight wasn't as exciting as I thought it was going to be. It wasn't a barn burner, but it was a fun fight. It was a fun little scrap. Marc-Andre Barriol has a lot of heart. I'm very surprised at his heart because I had McCall by KO. Mark freaking, he gritted through. He pressured through. This is a crazy scrap on the feet. And, Marc-Andre was trying to come back late. And, it was a close scrap. Really good fight. Good stuff from both guys. The thing about these guys is, they're not super good. 22-9, 17-11, but a lot of their losses are to good guys. And these guys are both really good fighters in the middleweight division. And we saw that. This was, a pretty, relatively high-level scrap. They're not ranked caliber guys, but, kind of close. They're both, top 27 guys. They're both top 30 guys in the division. They both put on a, fairly high-level scrap. And another thing about it is that it's hard to hate on a scrap like that because there wasn't low IQ between them. They both understand their paths to victory, and they both have good IQ, which is skill-wise they're not the best, but their IQ kind of carries both of them because they both have very good IQ. It's just that their skill, their IQ is the reason why they're where they're at, and it's definitely not their natural skill or talent or ability or technique. It's their IQ of knowing what to do. So yeah, that was really good, really fun, really nice to see fighters not do stupid stuff. I'll elaborate more on that. Oh my gosh, my boy Jim Matsumoto got freaking embarrassed and obliterated for 3 rounds. That was an insane masterclass by Farid Basharat. He called out Davidson Figueiredo. Fuck it. Book it. Figgy's been looking like shit. He lost to Montel Jackson. Don't care. He lost to Montel Jackson. That's a fact. That was a boring nothing fight. In the boring nothing fight, with no grappling, the only thing to look at is, and with no damage, the only thing to look at is the numbers. And I watched that fight, and I know for a fact Montel outlanded him. I know for a fact Montel won what was it, the second and the third? I know it came down to the third round, and I know he won the third round. And then Farid Basharat would do some dirty things to both of them. Maybe not Montel. I think he could do some dirty things to Figgy. I think unlike Montel and Umar, I think he will actually impose his will more. I can't believe I'm saying it. I'm a fan of Basharat, bro. I'm a fan of Farid after this. That was insane. Dude, we are going to put belt to ass on Figgy. Because we just put belt to ass on my former boy, Gene Matsumoto. Yes, I'm switching up. I don't care. I don't care, dude. But, no, I still really like Gene. Gene's a freaking dog. Gene's a meathead, so he was gritting through and, firing back. But, man, Farid's just so good, schooling him everywhere. Literally everywhere. And he's so diverse with his techniques, too. The boxing, the kickboxing, the spinning back kicks, the striking, the grappling, the wrestling, everything, man. Dustin Jacoby, Julius Walker. Round 1, nothing happened. It was a snoozer. And then round 2, round 2. Okay, so Dustin got a knockout, right? But he knocked this guy down like 2 times. And he looked good the whole time doing it. He was looking really clean out there, Jacoby was. It was a really surgical performance. Even from the beginning, he was, kind of low output, and he was, taking his time. Julius was, attempting to be a terrorist of the sport by freaking just holding him up against the fence and shit. And I was like, dude, Jacoby, we better knock this dude out. And we did. We did, because in the second round, we went out there and we just, I don't know why I'm doing an Aussie casual impression, but, we just put about the ass on him, we knocked him down, and that's it. Yeah, done. But it wasn't done. You know why? Because Dan Miragliotta. Okay. Dan Miragliotta is an old geriatric fucker. Alright? No offense to the guy personally, but as a referee, he should not be inside of a cage. It should be illegal for him to be inside of an octagon. Julius almost died because of him. Multiple fighters have almost died because of him. Oh, it's not that serious. Yes, it fucking is. It is fighting. That is a possibility. Even if he didn't come close, it was close to becoming close, if you know what I mean. Like, Jacoby knocked him down, and then he was beating the crap out of him. It's like, ref. And then, he got up and then knocked down again. Ref. And finally, Dan Miragliotta stopped it. But yeah, he should never be allowed in an octagon ever again. But he's still gonna be. If we had 2016 Dana White, Dana White who actually had more control over the UFC, and a Dana White that just gave more of a shit, he would have been ranting and raving about him in press conferences, multiple times over. The fans would be more furious about it because Dana would be more furious about it, and he would be gone by this point. Dan Miragliotta don't want to be reffing. He wouldn't let that old fart ref anymore. Daniil Donchenko versus Alex Morono. Here's the thing. Daniil Donchenko had such a fantastic performance. This guy arguably had 2 10-8 rounds. This is arguably a 30-25. Okay. 30... With round 1 was a 10-8. So it's at least 30-26. In round 3, with the 2 knockdowns and dominant on the feet, it's an arguable 10-8. So this is an arguable 30-25 we're looking at. On the feet, by the way. And on the feet, no grappling, on the feet. 30-25, in my opinion, fucking crazy masterclass. Crazy. But he did get, not busted up, but his face got a little red. Nose got a little red. Because it's got Daniil Donchenko likes to lean over his knees for some reason. And, he likes to have a lax stance. And he even admitted that he likes to get busted up before, winning because it makes the win feel better. Yeah, that's not something you want to hear from a fighter who you think might become elite eventually. That's kind of worrying. Incredibly entertaining performance. Incredibly entertaining performance. Really, really nice to see Daniil Donchenko knock this dude down like fucking 5 times, 2 of the times with leg kicks. Well, honestly, in terms of real knockdowns, I'd say 3. 2 to the head, which those are both in round 3. And then and then round 1, he knocked him down with a low kick. And then he kind of stumbled him with low kicks, and Moreno fell from low kicks, but they weren't really knockdowns. They kind of got stumbled. and then he'd, like, trip over himself. Or he would just, like, get tripped out with a low kick, more like he just got swept under his feet. The dude couldn't stand to save his life because Daniil was constantly chopping on his legs. Daniil's got so many weapons, but his defense isn't that great, and he's just constantly stalking forward, and he just really wants a fight. He really wants a good scrap. He wasn't trying to finish him. Oh, he was trying to give him everything he had. No, I disagree. I think he could have finished him back in round 1. You know, I think he purposely secured position in full guard and let Morono, you know, get his legs wrapped around him, because he could have, you know, just kept pop, 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 pop. But no, he tucked his head down in Morono's chest, secured position. That was complete bullshit. Why the fuck did you do that? Why wouldn't you want to finish the fight? And then when he knocked him down a couple times in round 3, and any of the times that he swept him off the feet with low kicks, he never tried to follow ground and pound. Oh, but like he doesn't really have that great of grappling. I don't care. Standing ground and pound TKO. Standing ground and pound TKO. Very simple. Very simple with the guy you just dropped. Yeah. Especially that second drop towards the end of the round, round 3, like he literally just walked away. Just walked away. Why wouldn't you want to try and finish a fight? He refuses to finish fights. He refused to finish that fight. That's a fact. He refused to finish it. He refused to. He had opportunities. He threw everything he had until he actually had the opportunity to put him out. He was like, you know what? Even though I worked so hard to put you in this spot to almost finish you, you know what? I'm just not going to finish you. I'm going to choose not to. That's what I think of that. Great stuff from Daniil, but that was annoying to see him not fumble, because he beat the shit out of him. It was a great performance. But fumble a finish. He could have finished him if he wanted to, but he clearly didn't. Also, Nico Price got fucking folded against the fence, dude. That was insane. Nikolai Veretennikov, dude, this guy, one of the most vicious standing TKOs I've ever seen. That freaking knee, boom, that elbow, boom. No, it wasn't an elbow, boom, to a knee, and to a fucking, like, straight. No, it was a knee, and then I think a vicious elbow that, like, snapped his head back into the fucking, cage wall. And then I think it was a 3, and then fucking 2 down the pipe. And the 2 down the pipe literally slumped him up against the fence. Like, not to, like, he didn't fall to the ground. He was slumped standing up. His face literally got, like, slumped into the fence to the point where his body was leaning on the fence, and instinctively, like, his body, like, grabbed onto the fence to stay standing. Like, his pinky was, like, hooked onto the cage, and he was out for, like, 2 seconds. And then he woke up, and he was confused as to why the fight was stopped, because he didn't remember, because he was fucking unconscious. Great stuff from Nikolai Veretennikov. I think this guy's getting better. I think he's kind of underrated, a little slept on. I was sleeping on him a little bit, too. I mean, I picked him. This is an easy pick, I think. But I should have picked him by TKO, you know. I think Nico Price is going to get cut now. He's 16-10. I don't know what his record is in the UFC. It's got to be like 5-8 or something shit. Or even less than that, like 4-7 or some shit. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, unfortunately, Nico Price is probably going to get cut. I don't know. I kind of like Nico. He's kind of fun, but yeah, sucks for him, but he's probably getting cut. Bruno Brazil, some of the worst fight IQ I've seen on display. In a WMMA fight, yeah, it's really bad. Just constantly trying to go for spinning and jumping shit. Can't believe I picked her. I'm pretty sure I ended up picking her by a KO too. She's with fighting nerds, but yeah, I guess that doesn't mean shit. I'm stupid for that pick. Ketlin Souza is proven to be a good fighter. Bruno's not. That was terrible from Bruno. Good performance from Souza, though. Like, Souza did a really good job mixing it up. She had such a good game plan. The striking and the grappling and the wrestling. She was using all of her tools, and kicking her, punching her. You know, she was, like, beating her up. And, you know, Bruno was just kind of, like, spinning elbows. I think she may have landed one. Jumping knees may have landed one. You know, flying kicks, but, like, no jabs or twos or anything. She tried to throw a single two, but it looked like there was a barrier, like a wall, invisible barrier blocking her from landing it. But anyways, she almost got finished multiple times by Ketlin Souza because she kept running. She kept turning her back and running in an MMA fight. I have no respect for anything like that. You shouldn't be turning your back and running away in an MMA fight. If you're doing that, why are you in the sport? You're a fighter. Don't run. Don't run. You're a fighter. Why are you in the sport if you're doing that? Disgraceful. Good stuff from Ketlin Souza, though. That was a good performance from her. So I don't want to take away too much from her because she did do really good. Bruna did not. Farid Basharat versus Yanni Vasquez. Here's the thing. So, my real pick was Farid Basharat. Right. Now, on verdict, did I switch my pick to Vasquez just because I'm an XP merchant? And did I pick him by round 2 TKO saying, I know this is probably not going to happen, and my real prediction is Farid by decision. But wouldn't this just be the funniest thing? If I got this right, that would the funniness. I don't care if I don't even think it's gonna happen myself. Just how funny would it be if Yanni actually KO'd him in round 2? And switching my verdict pick to that, even though I'm gonna reinstate this again, Farid was my real fucking pick. Don't get it twisted. But on verdict, I switched my pick to Yanni Vasquez round 2 TKO, and I'm so glad I did because that was hilarious to watch. Hilarious. He almost KO'd him in round 2. He almost did. Yanni Vasquez, fought Farid on 5 days' notice for one. 5 days' notice. Couldn't even make weight. Not even his fault because he had to fight in 5 days' notice. He's a random off the regional scene, and he moves like a tortoise. This guy's a human tortoise in disguise. This guy's so slow. And this guy throws punches like shit. This guy he is not a skillful fighter. But Javid just doesn't have defense. Javid just doesn't have defense, and he doesn't have a damn chin. The guy got dropped in round 2. But he dropped Yanni in round 1. Like, round 1 was dominant from Javid. Round 2 was dominant from Yanni. Well, not really dominant, but I mean, he knocked him down, but the rest of the round wasn't really that dominant. And Javid clearly won round 3. But it was just it was way too competitive. Like, dude, Javid, you fought a guy who's like kind of, I don't want to say but yeah, I mean, he looked like shit. He looked like complete shit, and he almost KO'd you. Like, Javid, what are you doing? 5-day notice, random fuck off the regional scenes. Moves like a tortoise. You can't put him away. And you have that competitive a fight with him. Insane fraud checking. I know he's already been fraud checked, but man, I just like to hate on Javid. You know, I used to say, I like to hate on the Basharat bros, but not Farid. I love Farid now. I love Farid after he schooled my boy G. Wang Kong. Give it up for Wang Kong, dude. Give it up for Wang Kong, man. Not seriously, though. She looked fantastic. She looked great in this fight, dude. She beat the shit out of Olivera for 3 rounds. This is great. It's great stuff. Great stuff. Very good performance. Very entertaining performance. Speaking, she's got to fight someone up the rankings. She shouldn't have been fighting on Watermore anyway. She should have been fighting someone up the rankings. So I didn't like this matchup in the first place, and I was like, yeah, easy win for Wang Kong. Who the fuck's picking up Watermore? Like, Mora's getting fucked up. She did. Got her face bloodied the fuck up on the ground. Wang Kong tried to go for a submission. Watermore almost, she went for a submission. What was it, at the end of round 1? She won the first round. Then, I damn near shit myself. So not really, but, I like Wang Kong. And she almost got submitted in round 1, but she was good. Thumbs up, and she survived. It was kind of deep, though. And she started cranking Mora's face a little bit and, cross-facing her and shit, beating the shit out of her everywhere. Later rounds, that was nice. Muin Gafurov versus Jacob Wallowitz. This is the last fight I'm going to talk about, by the way. I didn't see Priscilla Cachoeira versus Claudia Segula. I missed it. Because the thing is, they say that these UFC cards, it's going to start at 6, and, main card's going to start at 9, but for some reason, they said with this, it's going to start at 5, but then I looked at 5, I looked at it when it was 5 o'clock, and they were still talking, and it didn't even look like it was close to fights coming on, and then I was like, all right, well, around, 5:30, 5:40 or whatever, I'll tune in, because it'll probably be happening at 6, since they're not even showing anything yet. But then I go in at 5:40, and it's like, oh, well, the fight already ended. So what the hell? I don't know, they need to communicate better about these times sometimes. But, yeah. So I missed that fight, but apparently Segula, arguably 30-27'd her, just kind of schooled her. So bad pick for me, I guess. Cachoeira is not shit, but she's got good finishing potential. Well, she got easily beat, I guess. She's 13-8 now. Crazy. She's not that good. I'm not really surprised. I mean, but Claudia Segula ain't that good either. But she's good enough to beat Cachoeira, I guess. Cachoeira used to be good. Like, kind of good. I mean, she got a title shot against Valentina back in the day, apparently. So, guess she used to be good. But not anymore. She looks like dog shit. But she can finish. She can KO people every now and then. Jakub Wallowicz versus Moon Gafrov. Jakub Wallowicz, a man in Rab Patch, he makes himself. Here's the thing. Jakub has 10 submissions in his career. Like, why were there not more people picking Jakub by submission? This guy got 10 submissions in his career. And now he has an 11th. 4 minutes, dude. Freaking Paul Craig versus Magomed Ankalaev part 2, right? Am I right? Or am I right? Because this guy, Moon Gafrov, fumbled so bad. This was such an amazing fight, though. Jakub was freaking flicking his little flicky kicks, teep kicks and side kicks and, like, roundhouses. Like, these little flicky kicks the whole time. But when I mean the whole time, I mean the whole time. Because this fight was incredibly active. Moon was throwing crazy body shots. Jakub Wallowicz is just an absolute marauder. His striking skill's not that good, but, like, he was tanking Moon's body shots. I'm not going to lie. He was tanking that shit. And he was tossing around this man like a baby, like, at times. Like, dude, Moon would shoot him for a takedown. Boom. Like, dude, this is how you know when you shouldn't, like, shoot for a takedown of someone. When the last time you shoot for a takedown, they literally just sprawled on top of you. He literally just grabbed you and just fucking snapped you down. He got you down with a fucking snap down, my G. A snap down. And another time, he literally, like, there was one time he, like, hit him with a really good teep and it, like, kind of, like, and it dropped him, like, in round 2. Well, yeah, I kind of stumbled him, and he went down, and then he just kind of jumped on him, like a banshee, just freaking jumped on his back and started going a little crazy. And then later in the round, Moon went for a takedown for some reason, and, got sprawled on. It's like, yeah, this guy's got 10 submissions in his career, so I wouldn't suggest that. Constantly threatening Gillies and Darces and all this shit, and, throwing ground and pound strikes, and really looking good on the ground in round 2. He was in side control, battering knees and elbows and side control, knees to the body, elbows to the face, everything. It was great. It was great work, some technical groundwork. Even got to the back at one point and freaking almost choked, tried going for a rear naked towards the end of round 2, beat the crap out of Moon in round 2. Moon got round 1, pretty clearly. And then round 3 comes around and Moon's fucking him up. He's fucking him up on the feet. Oh my gosh, Wacklitch is still in there. I was still in there. But dude, this fight was such a war. This fight was amazing. This fight should have... I don't know what got fight of the night, but this fight should have gotten fight of the night. This is an amazing fight. This is a fantastic fight. Like, in terms of how high level it was, no, not really. I mean, it was kind of high level. You got one guy who's, like, pretty, like, solid striker in Moon, and a guy that's a really solid grappler in Jakub. But, dude, Jakub's striking IQ is interesting. But Moon's grappling IQ, dude, this guy he didn't 10-8, but, like, he dominated you on the ground in round 1. In round 2, sorry. He dominated you on the ground in round 2, and didn't even need to take you down. Didn't really need to take you down. You, like, shot in, and he literally just snapped you down with fucking ease and controlled your head around and got you in side control, was battering you, multiple submission attempts. And you're telling me in the last, like, 20 seconds you're going to go for a takedown? Are you serious? You had it in the bag. You go for a takedown, of course he's going to jump a Gilly. He was threatening the Gilly the whole time, and you didn't bail once? You didn't consider once to bail? He didn't. And he got gillied. Like, he took him down, and guess what? He didn't really take him down. As soon as he took him down, guess what happened? Boom! Immediately reversed in the mount. That was beautiful shit. And immediately guillotine. Immediately. Takedown? Nope. Reversal into mount into guillotine attempt. And he got it with 1 second on the clock. Fantastic. That shit was amazing. That was such an action-packed fight. That was a fun fight. Moon's going crazy on the feet. Kind of sloppy boppy boxing, but he's like really good at it. Just spamming the hooks to the body and the head and the overhands. Man, he was doing great. and Yak was doing great, crazy work on the ground. It was, back and forth. It was a really good fight.